So Alpha Model has been coming out with more and more kits lately, specifically of cars I like a lot, so it's really hard to turn them down. And again, I didn't really turn this one down either. So this is the cast of Ferrari 812 GTS, and it looks incredible. Ferrari 812 GTS was built by Ferrari Design Center, based on Ferrari 812 Superfast, and its appearance basically kept the design idea of the hardtop version. The rear of the car body, including the ceiling, trunk, and canopy cover at the rear of the cockpit, has been redesigned. When the new hardtop convertible structure is folded, the ceiling trim can be stored under the canopy at the rear of the cockpit, which can be folded in 14 seconds when the vehicle speed is lower than 45 kilometers per hour. So, let's dive into the box to see what's inside and go over the parts in general a bit quicker, and then go into a bit more detail on most of them. As usual, instructions nice, clean, and neat. Not really all that detailed, so it is sometimes a bit hard to figure some things out where they go, because sometimes just feels like they skip certain parts. But that is kind of the deal with these resin-style model kits. Not a big deal, but it does make it a bit harder sometimes. The chassis itself is nice, plain, simple, and flat. Does have a tiny amount of detail on the center and around the edges, and probably isn't all that far from the actual chance on the 812. So, nice to keep it simple and keep the cost down a little bit. The wheels that are included are the standard 812 GTS wheels. They look good, nice, crisp, and detailed. The tires on the front wheels a bit narrow than on the rear ones. The tread pattern looks very natural and realistic. The tire itself looks pretty good and realistic. Tires are sitting pretty, snag on a wheel. No issues on sizing. Unfortunately, no brand on any of the sides. However, one side looks perfect, and the other showing sign of supports. Not a big deal as only one side will be visible. Of course, the mandatory sort of suspension bits, the discs for the brakes. Some photo parts to go on top on each side to add a lot of detail, and then the calipers plus some other bits for the interior. All incredibly detailed, and they do look pretty good. With the interior, we have the main interior tub. The center console is missing, but that means it comes as a separate part, which is nice and easy to paint in a different color or apply a carbon fiber decal. To address all, add up, that we have many more bits. The main big piece is the dashboard. It has some missing elements all around, but those will be filled in with some of the events. The dashboard comes into two parts, and once again, that would be very easy to paint in different colors. There are two pins that helps to attach two pieces together without missing a correct position. Nicely detailed steering wheel that comes out as a one piece. I saw on other Alpha model kits steering wheels that coming in two or more pieces, but this is not a big deal as it comes to paint. The main cage cluster itself, then also one for the center console that runs from the top of the dashboard all the way down. There are some missing bits in there too, which will be filled in with individual pieces, making it a ton easier to detail them out nice and clean, and also give all of them the colors that they deserve. Not only multi-piece dashboard, but also multi-piece door panels. It has some door handle pull grips and a really unique pull designed to fit there. And also some more bits for on the top in detail, also really nicely done. You can't do it without some seats. The seats are incredibly done. Alpha model included two sets of seats. One set is standard one piece, and the second set consists of two pieces. Also, sometimes it's much easier to detail. Both sets look nice and clean. The panel lines in between nice and sharp, not too deep, not too wide, but just enough for detailed interior. Now I need to decide which set is better to use. Some more parts for interior. Seem to be additional parts for the dashboard. One part broke off from the sprue, but not as big deal. A whole piece is intact. Then, of course, to go behind all of those bits and pieces, some more detailed and intricate bits. The main buckets for the headlights, some additional bits to go in there. You can see there are some spaces left over for some of that clear parts, screws that I've shown is there. The running boards, left and right. Left and right side mirrors. Some additional parts for chassis. The rear spoiler most likely was included by mistake. I don't see any reference for it for that model, and not even in the instruction. Nice addition to that kit are window wipers molded in resin. Sometimes it's a little hard and time-consuming to make them from etch metal. The headlights lens covers are molded in clear resin too, but not looking very transparent as clear parts in regular plastic kits. I am usually cleaning them up a little bit, then applying one or two thin, clear coats, and that takes care of that issue of transparency. The other clear parts for rear lights will get some transparent color. In addition to resin parts, we also have photo-etch sheets of metal that give some additional realism to the model. The first one has a nice template where I will add my brand and a date utilizing my laser machine. Also has some parts for discs and license plates. I recently started to do my own branded laser engraving plates. The second sheet has two mats consists of two parts. It will be really easy to apply two colors without any masking. Nice disc breaks that are going on top of resin discs. Some more grills and photo-etch window wipers for real fans of those. Also, nicely done pedals. More grills in gold color. I will take close look if makes sense not to apply any paint and leave a front big grill in gold. Should be nice looking with black body color. Nice covers for exhaust pipes. One more photo etch with more smaller details like plates for calipers that are adding a lot of realism. Belt buckles, and more. Small sheet with metal transfers for mirrors, side and back view mirrors. Some Ferrari brand logos. I love those. One tiny sheet with 812 GTS logo. And last but not least, transparent sheet with front and side windows. All pre-painted and pre-cut. Not a big fan, but just going to move on. They look good. It should work just fine. For the decals, we have a couple different sheets, a bigger one, smaller one. This one is mainly for the interior with the center console. Some stitching options for the seats if you're going to go with different colors of seats. You have a red, yellow, or white stitching. Some more of the Ferrari badges. Some interior bits for some of the buttons and other details, and just in general, a really nice decal sheet. And then we have the main big one with all of the carbon fiber. So most of the interior tub needs to be done in carbon fiber, or some of the side panels. The bottom panels are the rear panels, the door panels, dashboard bits, all fits all round, and also that rear diffuser that needs to go in some carbon fiber tube. All pre-cut, pre-templementa should just be really easy to put on. Just will take a bit of time as it's quite a lot, but since the car has it, it kind of needs it, and it really does look good in the end, so it's totally worth the effort. Really nice reference picture included. And then the final big boy, the body. So most of the detailed bits you've already seen for the vents, the headlights, and also has a detailed bit on the inside. If you're going to go for the opposition, some bits on the side, the mirrors, and the rest is just looking really good. On the inside of the headliner is molded in, not incredibly detailed, but you will probably never be able to see any of it once it's all assembled. So everything that I put in there is nice to have, without more being said well. The panel lines, not too wide, not too deep, so they will probably need a bit of scribing, although they looked nice already, and it doesn't seem like they need a ton of attention. They will need to be done just a little bit before painting. Otherwise, some of those details might just disappear. So going over them once or twice really will enhance the build. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything just looks nice. And I'm really looking forward to this build. Now, if you have any suggestions on color, I'm thinking of going in a classic color wages, doing it black or metallic black, and bright yellow and red interior. But let me know what you guys would like to see. I'm totally up for any suggestions. Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and see you at the next video.